happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Team of the season tier. Subscribe for Dirty Mike. Also, I've been very sick the past week. I caught some sort of stomach virus. So any positive vibes, I'll take those. I don't have every single team of the season player, but I have a large portion that you're gonna see in action. If you have questions or you have discussions, comment section. Acuna, I think we're gonna start him out in the up. Not quite elite, but I like his body type because it allows to play him as a center mid confident. Bump, grind, all of that. Also, I will adjust some of these players at the end of the video so we have a full-on review. Don't go in it. I think I need to start them in the uppers. I didn't explain these categories. Broken controller. That is reserved for that disgusting, sweaty, opposition, game-changing, just a mess to go up with. Not cleaning up. Elite, self-explanatory. Uppers is still good to go. Solid. You can use them in the weekend league. Mid. Like the video if the weekend league's been sweaty for you, because that's been my experience. Alexander-Arnold. Oof. I don't know if he's quite to the middies, but something is missing. Not because I'm an Everton supporter. We got that beat. Alisson. I'm really tempted to put goalkeepers into the mid. Not because I don't rate them, but mainly because I feel they're almost the same between the 89 and the 90 and then their team of the season 90. They still make a lot of the same mistakes. I'm not getting that heroic mode consistently. All right, I'm moving into solid. Anthony, solid. Balotelli, just for the balance. Uppers and the skills, the expression. That man's a walking icon. Bellingham, oof, has to be at least elite. Do I put him into broken controller? It's more difficult for players that are midfielders to compete for that special category. Just wait and see. But there's never been a better year for Bellingham. Jude has been rude and replaced that Holy. Ben Yedder. Trying to get a rat on screen. Broken controller certified. Kareem the Dream. I'm putting him on elite, but I don't know. I used him a decent amount. Something wasn't as expected. He was still fantastic, as way back would say, but maybe my expectations were too high, and some of that's due to that flashback Benzema that's incredible. Berardi doesn't do much for me. Do I put him into the mid? He's just not gonna change my squad. I'm gonna be harsh, because why not? And team of the season, these are the best of the best, the creme de la creme. Get in the comment section, let me know what you think. Brozovic, a lot of stats, but I think there's some fraudulent activity. Mid, Bruno. Mid, João Cancelo. I love him, absolutely love him. Best in his position, and he has versatility. I've included some MLS bias, but I wasn't that impressed with that team of the season as a whole. Carlos Heel, Carrasco, I'm tempted to put into the mid. Always under-delivers, and the stats are right, but in-game, they're oh so wrong. Courtois, the best of the goalkeepers, and just based on his performance in Champions League, which I was at, gotta give him at least the uppers. Quadrado, I think he's kind of underrated. I like him. Into the upper. Danjuma, also underrated, but I don't know that he can get into that next category. It's difficult. Dante's in that same type of conversation. Alphonso Davies, not everyone appreciates those work rates, but he got the burner. And he's going to be a new man because he's a single man. KDB, I like him a lot. And frankly speaking, I think he's the best midfielder in the world. We're moving him into elite. Mike's bias. Eder Militao, for me again, elite. I felt his turning and his pace and recovery speed heavy. Diaby, I think a lot of you will enjoy using Diaby. Don't sleep on him. I wish I liked Diogo Jota better. I don't know if it's being too particular or specific. I'm just keeping it a buck. I used him a decent amount this year. Multiple versions. Maybe he just doesn't float the boat for yours truly. Ball is nasty. Absolute filth. Best item he's ever had at FIFA. We're just leaving him in elite for now. There's gonna be some talks, some conversations. Bakir, I'm not sure I want him better than solid. Got a lot of options. We have solid variety. João Felix. I kind of want João Felix in that elite discussion. Phil Foden, quick as ever. On a dime. Fofana. This is the situation. This is why you don't see the Vieiras and the Ruud Hullets the same way. I'm telling you, a lot of these midfielders are better than them. Fofana, as a holding mid, controls everything. I don't know if I even feel right about putting him into the uppers. Fred, same category. The elite is just already so elite. Straight up. Living up to the name. I don't want to just hand that out. That's not me. Frimpong. If you packed him, you weren't very happy. I like Surge quite a bit. This item is another one of those slept on foot items. Kind of want to slide him into the uppers. Got a little bit of that boost with the pace, but touches clean and crisp. I wanted to talk about what they eat in Germany, but it doesn't really fit. Graven Birch is dope. Kind of want him in the lead again, but for now we're in the uppers. When Doozy's got to join him. Uppers, I still have it. I've been impressed, but we're going to go solid. Holland, I've used a decent amount. I don't know that I can wiggle him further, even with the unique running style and his animations. I still feel limited. Hernandez, for sure in the elite. Again, might make that broken controller combo. Iago Aspas, player that does not get much respect. Perfect timing, as we have Immobile next, and pretty much the exact same scenario with Mr. Immobile. Something is always not quite meta. It's like you got the milk and you got the cereal, but you don't have the spoon. Harry Kane, not Harry Potter. Also gonna slide him into the solid category. What a value. I think he's under 200,000 points. I'm gonna slot him into the uppers. Hostage, mid, not enjoy my experience. Koulibaly. He gotta be uppers for me. I don't enjoy going up against him at all. And he would have a bigger movement. Seriously. If he just wasn't so stiff on the ball. I don't feel comfortable moving it out of the back. We're talking about tackling, the way that he defends corner kicks or set pieces, and scores them, to be fair. If you got that same type of look, pretty undeniable. Koundé! Uppers. Another goalkeeper, Lafont. I think he's pretty solid, actually. So with that statement, we'll put him there. Laporte, uppers, barely. There's some debate for me. Lewandowski. I really enjoyed this Lewandowski. Again, I'm not sure that he can make the argument to where he maybe wants to be or should be based on stats, but I preferred the 97 to the Team of the Year, which was a 98. Doesn't always make sense, but that's what it was. Living up front. I think he's kind of underrated again. If you're going in a different route, you want to try somebody new, but based on this, I think he still has to go mid. I can't have Jota down here, or Fernandez, or even Brozovic. Hugo, we'll put him into solid, but I would prefer Alisson, Courtois. You know what? On that note, screw it. He's going to the mid. Oof, Lucas is nasty. Really rate that foot item. We're going to have a true debate in that elite category. He's not been good for me, but he's fantastic against me. So for that, we'll put him into solid. We're just throwing all sorts of disrespect on Hugo Lloris, it looks like. Sadio Mane joins Ben Yedder. Fantastic. Just brilliant. A menace, truly. Marquinhos, elite. Still can't believe he is as good as he is, because I met him at an event maybe 5-6 years ago. And I'm telling you, for a starting center back, he is not a big guy. I was taller than him. I had to weigh at least 40 pounds heavier. And I mean that in no disrespect, because he is, again, the top of the top. Mbappe, he salutes you, we'll salute him back. There's only one place. Messi. Ooh, I want him in the broken controller, but I prefer his Team of the Year version, which then starts to make me question, should we have a drop on broken controller? Savage, why are you not better? Why are you not better? Every year, ask for more, or I want more. I believe in him. I try him out. Mitrovic, I like him a lot this year. For this item, he does not lose anything in the air. So damn physical. Thomas Muller, I don't know what he did, but in FIFA, he is one of the most underwhelming items over the past decade of releases. Especially if you look at his output in real life and what it means to the club. He wears the badge of honor. Them success stories. Thomas Muller's always there. He's in the mix. He's not missing out on the bar opportunities, going to the club, he's walking through that front door. He knows everybody. Peep the modest man. Best dynamic image in FIFA, period. Solid. Just for the imagery alone. Modric, gross. This guy is another walking icon. One of the best midfielders of all time. And for that, we go in elite, baby. Mukhtar. I like Mukhtar. I think we're going to give him some of that solid positioning. Dika, throwing that weight around, bro. Manuel Neuer. We'll put him into the goalkeeper category of solid. Outside of Courtois. Got him a nod. Neymar, all the way up. Nunez, highly recommend if you get a chance to insert him into a team. I think you'll be maybe pleasantly surprised. Perhaps you saw a review or two. Should be on your list. Nkunku, I'm going to sneak him into the list. Nuno Mendes, again, I would recommend highly, well regarded. Oscar, he's another Brazilian. I'm giving another thumbs up. Payet is acceptable. He's going into this category right here. I don't know if he makes enough noise. Pedri might be similar to me. Some of y'all won't like that placement. Maybe I just haven't used him in the proper positions. I can see the comments having a lot of questions. Speaking of, if there's any players I missed or you want an answer in regards to where I would place them, or you want to make a statement, we have an open dialogue. Pellegrini, not talking about the water. Solid. His Raphael is gross. You gotta make moves. I don't know that he should be a 97 either. Are you telling me that Raphael is as good as Mbappe and Messi and Modric? That's the same tier system that we're on right now. Ruben Diaz. We'll go uppers. Again, I preferred the team of the year, but he was a pleasant surprise this year. Glenn Rice, at this point, it's got to go mids, man. You got to get a little bit of a downward bump. There's just too many options that are better, simply put. Romarinho. You get a chance to use them, you're going to be surprised, especially if you're good with some of the skills. The ins and the outs. Cristiano, saw that he was awarded Premier League Team of the Year, or Team of the Season, not in the game, but also in real life, over Ronaldo, who should be greater than Ronaldo based on their 2 seasons, and even results from a club perspective. And I'm a CR7 fanboy, but I don't agree with that selection. Mo Salah, deadly player, but he is not Mane in FIFA. I gotta compare him 1-to-1, both the wings. Even with the upgrade to his weak foot, he still feels one-footed at times. Tavernier, he's been decent for me. We're gonna give him just out of the mix. Silva's just brilliant. This might be my more controversial choice, especially for the price tag. You might have a disagreement. I think you gotta put some respect on his name, but Bernardo Silva is so damn official in FIFA. The way that he is able to maneuver. Ronaldo, I'm putting him elite. He's definitely not in that broken controller category, so he's still finishing second to Ronaldo. On my list, Suarez. Always thinking about the vampire. Highly regarded. Big fan of this item. If you haven't used them, this is one of those 5-star reviews. If he was an Uber driver, you definitely re-up constantly. Talisca, oh man, does he get busy. Unorthodox, unusual, has that composure, has the size, but then this ability to innovate and create. Tavernier, back in action, gotta be in the uppers. That's a real deal. Fullback, you need someone who's gonna run the lines. Covered, all bases. He might deserve better than uppers, straight up. Chouameni this year, unstoppable in the midfield. I'm making the bump. Him and Fofana, they dominate. Structured, all about the Benjamins and all about the business. Timber, this is a foot I under-delivered to a certain degree. You see the stats, especially considering that his baseline was so quick, and there might be some fraudulent interpretation. Debo, uppers, I like him a lot. If you're going lower rated, he would be one of my center backs to give a run. If you need a Frenchman, you need to keep that price tag on the low. I think he's under 50K. Denali, uppers, baby. You know, a lot of people like this German, and for good reason. It's hard for me to get him out of the solid category, but I think a lot of you will have him placed in the upper. Whatever. I've been harsh the majority of this. Let's be a little more generous. We'll move him up. Virgil Van Dyke. I'd like for him to be higher. Been a couple years, 3 years now, at least on the FIFA side, that he hasn't been himself. There were a couple installments where he was that guy, and since then, there's other players I would prefer. I make a long list, at least for his category, and he just didn't used to be that. Vela, I like him. How is he a 90? That's it. If you're gonna give out the 94s and the 95s for some of the other MLS players, I just think he should be a little bit higher rated. Vinicius Jr. Oh, what a breakout year. What a season. One-man counterattack, explosive, dynamic. Might be the best player this year on the ball. Agree? Disagree? As for Juventus, outside of needing maybe a better bounce-back season, still getting into the uppers. Wirtz, super underrated. Maybe overlooked is a better word. I kind of want him in elite, but I don't know if I'm quite at that comfort level. And Zaha, big fan. He dropped with the early access. It was the most complete, most consistent. You had him throughout that period, gave him a weekend. I know you weren't disappointed. That's all I'm saying. I have no idea how many players we listed, but it feels like at least 100 on the radar. Some tier correction. Dial with me, focus up, especially if you already made a comment. Also, if you haven't liked the video and you're at this point, hit that damn thing, circle around the bell, notifications, do what you need to do. I think Diogo Jota, we're gonna go ahead and put him into solid. Feels a little more fitting. Someone you love, I might hate, and vice versa. But outside of that, I feel like we've done right here, unless you think there's a bump down. This majority has earned that solid position, which means they're certifiable. That's not a haterade type of scenario. And when we get into the elite and the uppers, we could have some serious fluctuation. Acuna, I rate heavy. Alaba, the same thing. Half of the people that are in this category, I think could go up depending your standard. Just got so many players on the board. I feel if we move Tchouaméni up, Fofana's got to go because they're so similar. If you've used one, you've used them both. And with that logic, Gravenberch got to move. He was part of that 90-plus crew that just shifted everything in the middies. I don't know if he gives you enough as a stopper or enough offensively, or a few of you will argue, I think, for Lewandowski. But I also believe many of you will agree that there are moments that he's underwhelming. I need you to focus. We're looking broken controller, elite. For a player to move from elite to broken controller, he needs to be on the level of the guys that have been selected. I'm gonna keep this a buck. I think Jude's gotta go up. You could argue he's the best in that position. I'm gonna make the exact same case for João Cancelo. I really just wanted to have him or Hernandez. So in this circumstance, that's gonna be my choice between the two of them. The ball is pretty gross. Raphael as well, man. Unstoppable. This is such a category of just brilliant, undeniable, undoubtable. I think I'm good with this. So line it up, freeze frame it, zoom it in, and then the broken controller category, meta. I'm meta. You don't stop these guys, and if you have them, you just gained a serious competitive advantage. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see some of the other pieces of content, they should be linked here. As always, I'll have a lot more coming out for you ASAP.